Welcome to CF Tesla and the beginning, the very first video of our ongoing tutorial series. This series is about the very basics, quick from the very beginning, from ordering, which we're going to talk about today, all the way to mastering your Tesla. Now these videos are going to be very direct, very to the point, as short as I can possibly make them, yet delivering you all the information you need to know. So if that's what you're here for, be sure and subscribe, hit the bell notification, and look down below in the description for other videos in the series. Now we do this for you guys, but what we ask for you in return is that you do us a favor and hit the like button on these videos. It helps YouTube algorithm get this out and make it more searchable and findable for other people looking for this information. Now let's get into today's tutorial. Today we're talking all about ordering your car and what the different steps are, what the different features mean, some things to be aware of, some tips and things to be, cautious of. Now my wife and I own a Model 3 and a Model Y, so we're gonna go through today and talk about the Model Y. And again, this isn't about my opinions or anything like that. This is purely just how to do it, plain and simple. Also, all of these videos are made assuming you know nothing about any of this. So feel free to double tap on your screen, jump ahead 10 seconds if I'm talking about something too elementary for you at the moment. So first off, we're gonna click on the car that we want. Okay, then we're gonna go down here to order now. Obviously you can go through here and read about everything and that's all fine. And we're gonna talk more about what each of these things mean in future videos as you're learning to master it. But right now we're just talking about how to actually order it. So from pretty much any of these pages, you can find the order now. So wherever you are scrolling down, there's gonna be an order now in there. Tesla does not want you to, not know where to buy it from. So once you're in the new page where you're looking at the order form, what I would recommend doing right away is go over to the very top there and take a look at the delivery date. For example, the Model Y currently is predicted between January 2023 and April 2023. Keep in mind though that it says estimated. Okay, that is going to change. It's a very rare when that actually doesn't change. And there are different things that affect your delivery we'll talk about in the next video on delivery. So again, make sure you're subscribed for that. We recently had a Model Y on purchase that got delayed 11 different times, or I should say the delivery date changed 11 times. Didn't always go up, kind of went forward, came back, moved around a bit. Now the next thing down is purchase price or potential savings. I would recommend going into purchase price and looking at the true cost of what you're actually going to be paying for this car. Potential savings is factoring in the gas savings over time. It's true that for a lot of people who own an equivalent car, there would be a gas savings there, and we're going to talk about the true cost and all that in a future video. But for now, just put it on purchase price so we can see the true cost of this vehicle. So below that, you're going to select the model you want. Obviously with the Model Y, you only have the long range or the performance model available here on the website. And you can see here at the time of the video that the Model Y long range is $65,990. In fact, at the time I'm recording this video, it was just increased $3,000 overnight. And the performance is at just under 70,000. Now keep in mind, that's before any add-ons, any costs, and we're gonna get to all the costs and all that in delivery video coming up next, but there's a lot. This is not what you're gonna pay. If you wanna know more about the potential savings of $7,800 and how that works, you can click Learn Now, and it'll break down all the different gas savings they're predicting over a 6-year period that you would save $7,800 in fuel costs. If you wanna update that, you can go in here and click on Change Delivery. That's just in my state of Washington, but you can go ahead and update that for your area to get an idea of what the average savings is going to be. Now, while we're here, we might as well talk about all the different information here. Tesla does a pretty good job of giving you a lot of information, kind of messing around with little calculators. So in here, you can change it from cash, lease, or loan. So if you're the average person buying a Tesla, you're gonna do it on a loan. You can choose between anywhere from 36 to 72 month term, how much money you're gonna be putting down, the APR on the loan, which is again is all the costs wrapped in, and then you got the financed amount, and that's gonna give you your overall payment. The destination and docking fee that is down there is something that's unavoidable. It doesn't matter what state you're in, you're gonna pay that, so always make sure you're factoring that into the overall cost of the car. Now Tesla does allow you to go in here and fine tune the gas savings, so you can put in how many miles driven per year, gasoline, what it is per gallon in your area, the efficiency of the car that you're replacing. So I replaced, for example, an Infiniti FX35. I got 17 miles per gallon, and right now in my area, gas is at $6.25 for, gas. So you can see that if I was replacing my Infiniti today with today's prices, I would be having a gas savings of $19,800 by driving a Tesla. And I'll just tell you, it has been a massive savings so far. And then the last page is incentives, where you want to put in your state there to see if there are any incentives currently running in your state. So below that, we have the feature details. And here's where we're going to go over this kind of briefly, because we're going to talk about this more in individual videos coming up in the series. But because this is probably the most intensive video we're going to do in the series, there's a lot to talk about. We are going to go over this a little bit. So you get some of the specs here. You get the range and performance of them. You got the 0 to 60. You got the distance. And I'll tell you right now, when you're looking at this, the Model Y having up to 330, the performance having up to 303 range, you're never going to get that range. So just don't, assume that that's the range you're going to get in your car. Those ranges are taken over different types of environments, different climates, different temperatures and all that. But the odds of you actually getting it are pretty low. Next is basic autopilot. Basic autopilot, or auto steer as some of us call it, is just basically where the car is going to be keeping you inside of the road lines, as well as allowing you to set a max speed and then keeping your speed and distance that you set between the car in front of you. Basically adaptive cruise control. Unless you pay for the full self-drive program, which we'll talk about in a minute, you're not going to have any of the merging on or off of freeways, automatic lane changes, city driving, anything like that, auto parking. You're not going to get any of those features. The basic that comes with every single car, no extra cost to you, is basic autopilot, like you're seeing right here. And again, all cars has this. Okay, all cars have this. It's just going to auto steer for you and control your speed through adaptive cruise control, which is pretty good on its own. There's a little information about the charging, and we're going to have a whole video about charging and the different types of chargers and what to be aware of and all that coming up. But there's little information right there. Over-the-air updates is one of the coolest parts about owning a Tesla. You can wake up one morning and have a whole new different system in your car. It could run better, have longer battery life, get all kinds of changes in there, and it's constantly happening. On average, we might see 1 to 2 different software updates a month. Basically, you buy a car and it gets better over time. I mean, that's pretty cool. Next up is Sentry Mode, which all Teslas have. What it does is uses all the cameras around the car, 360 degrees, to record anything that happens within proximity to your car. Then it saves it on the hard drive that you will put inside your car, another video coming, and leave it for you to view later. Now, if you do end up paying for the premium connectivity, which is an option for, I think it's $10 a month right now, $9.99, through SentryView, you can also use their live cameras. So you'll be able to take your app and view what's going on around your car. You can look at 4 different cameras from the Tesla app, and you can see what's going on with all around your car, but you have to pay for that premium connectivity to get that. And we'll talk about premium connectivity when it comes up. You have information about the storage space, and then the Tesla mobile app, which we're going to get into in another video. Wow, a lot of features thrown at you all at once, right? But now let's get on to the actual options for the Model Y that we're buying here together. So first up is paint color. Now, the first thing to know about paint colors is Tesla likes to cycle the different colors in terms of what is included for free to kind of, I think, keep a variety out there of people choosing different cars. So you may look at it now and it may be white is included, and then a month or 2 later, it could be black or some other color. So it'll show you right here. So the first option is pearl white, which is included currently. Then you have the silver metallic, also included. The deep blue, which is what my Model 3 is $1,000 upgrade for that. The solid black, which is what my wife has on her Model Y, is $1,500. And then $2,000 for red. So we're going to put it to black and basically rebuild my wife's car. Next is the different wheel options. You have the Gemini wheels, which are the 19-inch that are included with the car. That also is where you're going to get the maximum range, 330 miles. You're also supposed to get a little smoother ride. For $2,000, you can upgrade to the induction wheels. That drops the range down to 318 max miles, and they do definitely do that. Because they're low profile, the ride's going to be a little bit rougher, but you got a different look. So if you like the kind of look, definitely go with the induction wheels. Again, we're building my wife's car, so we're going to keep them on there. Next is a tow hitch. For only $1,000, you can pull up to 3,500 pounds. So that's pulling any kind of a jet ski, utility trailer behind your car for doing yard work or whatever around the house, pull ATVs, and even small campers. When it comes to the interior, the black is what is currently included. You can upgrade for $1,000 to the white, but we're going to keep it here on black. Now with the Model Y, you have the option of having 5 or 7 seats. If you choose the 5 seat, that is what is included with the car, and you won't have an increase in price. It's also what's keeping our range at 318 miles. If we upgrade to the 7 seats, that's a $3,000 price hike, and it reduces our mileage down to 314 mile range. So now if you do pay that $3,000, you're going to get more than just the back seats. First of all, it's for 2 people in the back. And I've seen different videos on this. Adults can get back there, but you probably don't want to spend too much time back there. You do seem to have your head kind of like this a little bit. And of course, the legroom is not that great. Now, if you do decide to go to the 7-seater and pay the extra $3,000, there's a couple different things that change in the car. First of all, you have easy entry to the 3rd row. You get a USB-C charger back there for the 3rd row seat. So if you back there and your kids are on maybe like their iPads or something, you can plug them in and keep them powered. The second row slides and can be adjusted, which doesn't come with the 5-seater. You can fold down the 5-seater, but you can't slide the seats. Both the second row and the third row fold flat, so you're not losing any trunk space, and each seat folds independently, and there are also cup holders there in between the seats. Now let's talk about some of the interior features of the Model Y. You have the full glass roof, which is a change from the Model 3 where you don't have any kind of a split in the roof. It's just one big solid piece. You have a 15-inch center display. You have wireless chargers, so as long as you have a glass back phone, you'll be able to charge your 2 different phones on there. Now you can't do that horizontally, they have to be vertical, but that maybe not be that big a deal. Now all seats in the car are made from something that they claim is softer than leather, and I have to say I probably agree with that. They're all very comfortable. And you have what Tesla calls an advanced climate control system. Now there's another video coming up in the series where we go through all the different details of on-the-screen settings and all that, and we'll go through a lot more detail on that one there. Now let's talk about the interior features here just briefly. Both the performance and the long-range all-wheel drive come with what's called premium connectivity. On the Model 3 side, you're not guaranteed to have all these options. It's more dependent on the model, but all of the Model Ys have them. With premium audio, you get 13 speakers and 1 subwoofer, and you get something called immersive sound, which is actually really amazing, especially when you're in theater mode and you're listening to or watching a movie. You have the ability to connect your phone to the car via Bluetooth and play Pandora or whatever other kind of media you would like. Now inside of your glove box, you have a USB-A port, and in that USB-A port, you have a 128 gig portable hard drive. And what that is for center view, recording all those videos, as well as dash cam. Again, another video coming up on that, but essentially it's recording a loop of everything your car sees while you're driving. That way, if something happens, you can go into your menu and tap save, and it will save the previous 10 minutes of footage that are recorded in that loop. The car also comes with power adjusted front seats, heated front and rear seats, heated steering wheel, a HEPA air filtration system. We recommend changing every 1.5 to 2 years. Tinted glass roof with ultraviolet and infrared protection, although a lot of people do opt to put sunshades up there if you live in a really hot area. And I've got some great discounts for that down below in the description if you're looking for that. Independent flat folding rear seats and interior floor mat. Now the Model Ys do come with carpet floor mats, but most people do end up swapping those out because they're just carpet and they're gonna pick up everything. They're gonna show all the stains and, well, it's carpet. Especially if you live in a place like I do in Washington where you're having rain and mud and snow and slush all the time. Getting in your car, you're gonna want something that's a lot more, you know, able to handle all the elements. And so, like before, down below in the description, there are a bunch of discount codes for different ones that I recommend. Now down below, you have something called full self-driving capability. If you add this feature, you're gonna be able to navigate on autopilot. That means that you'll basically be taking on-ramp and off-ramps for you. But once you get off the freeway, you're gonna be taking back control again. It'll also navigate around other vehicles that are going slower than the max you have set. You'll have auto park, which is where you pull up next to a parking stall or parking lines or parallel park, and it does it all for you. And it works very well, something that I've used a lot. You'll have summon where you can call the car to you, either from a set location where it'll actually navigate around a parking lot and come to you, or you can just simply using the Tesla app, make it go forward and back at your garage or whatever. Some people use that feature for like, maybe they got a really, really tight spot they're parking the car, so they jump out of the car while there's more space, and then they just send the car in on their own and then just let go of the button or hit stop, however you have it set up, once it's in the place that it needs to be. You'll have the full self-driving computer, which means that someday in the future, you'll be able to have the full self-driving program where you're actually driving and navigating around city streets. And like it does say here, that is coming soon. I am a beta tester and it has a little ways to go, but if you want to be a part of that program, you have to pay for the full self-driving option. You'll also have traffic light and stop sign control, so the car, rather than just driving through the stop lights and stop signs and just dinging at you, letting you know, hey, you just committed a crime, essentially, it's going to actually stop for you, as well as it'll go for you. As far as charging goes, you have the wall connector and the mobile connector. So we're going to select both of those. The wall connector is basically the souped up charging system. It's like going from just your regular 30 amp at your house, or 32 amp I think it is, and advancing that up to being able to charge as much as I've seen at my house, adding 40 miles per hour to my car. So it charges pretty fast. But of course, you need to get an electrician to come out and install that kind of stuff, get your house wired up for that. Again, we're gonna be talking about charging here in one of the next few videos. The mobile connector is a little cord that you can keep inside of your trunk, so anywhere you go, you can connect it, plug it in, whatever you gotta do. But you can see right now that there is a delay on that. So if you bought a car and was delivered today, chances are you wouldn't have that. It's estimating August through October later this year. And when we click at the details, it says here that it can add up to 44 miles. So I've only seen 40, but it can do up to 44 miles added to your car per hour of charging. And when you scroll down to the bottom, it's going to tell you again your estimated delivery date based on any modifications you've made to the car. And one thing to point out on that as well is you can see that the Model Y long range is January to April next year, but if you go to performance, it goes down to August to October this year. And the reason for that being is they prioritize more expensive cars, there's less demand for the more expensive car, and so they're able to get them out to you faster. But the long range all-wheel drive one, I mean, it's the one that most people are buying, which is why it's the most back-ordered car, so it's gonna be a longer delay. So some people have gone in and bought the performance just because they didn't want to wait the extra half a year to a year to get their car in some cases. People will also say that if you add the full self-drive to your order, that'll get you in a higher line because you're paying more money for the car. That used to be the case, but Tesla has told me through multiple conversations that that is not the case anymore. So if you're going to be paying the extra $12,000 just to get your car faster, I'd be a little leery on doing that right now because it is not for sure. I mean, if you want full self-drive and you're planning on getting it anyway, absolutely, it might help you. But don't do it just to get your car faster. From what I'm being told by Tesla, that no longer helps you get your car faster. Just performance versus long-range all-wheel drive is the only thing that makes a difference. Now, on the very bottom here, there's going to be a little tab. And down here, it's going to tell you what the current updated either cost of the car is if you're paying cash, or what the monthly payment is going to be if you're paying a loan based upon the current, down payment and all that is active and input at the time. So you can hit the up arrow here and it'll give you the details. But remember, a lot of this can be changed later on in the process. Even though you put loan in here at the time of putting in the order, you can choose to put it as a cash purchase instead. And same with vice versa. You can go in there and put cash, and then later on in the process, when you got your VIN sent to you and you're getting ready for delivery, you can then tell the person in charge of your order, I'd like to switch this now to a loan. Some do swear that if you do go through cash, that they do kind of prioritize your delivery and that you will get the car faster. Again, Tesla denies this when I ask them it, but a lot of people swear by it. So, I didn't do that, and my car was quite delayed. And definitely other people in different areas got it quicker than me. But the thing is you may hear stories of that where someone in Fremont or California, they got their car quicker than you. A lot of it does have to do with location as well. It's kind of weird how it all works. Next, you're going to go over to continue to payment. Here it's going to break down all the different options that you selected, your total monthly payment, any extra things such as wall connectors and things like that. The sales tax is pending. Don't worry, they'll add that in there. From there, you can click on order with card and get your order started, get your name in the queue. So now here you are, you've ordered your Tesla. Now here's how you maintain it and make sure you don't screw it up, okay? You're gonna really wanna watch this part. When you go to tesla.com, in the top right corner, you'll see something that says account, okay? Here's where you're gonna manage and watch over all this. So log in, and once inside, you'll be able to see all of your Teslas. What you're going to want to do at least once a month, okay, minimum, is come in here and go into manage. You're going to want to look at everything. Yours isn't going to look like this because you're going to be in the ordering process, but you want to make sure that there's nothing outstanding, because if you have like a loan that needs to be like, your credit needs to be rerun, which I don't remember what it is. I think it's every 60 days or maybe it's 30 days. Maybe it's 60 days. But anyway, you need to rerun that every 60 days or so, whatever it is. It'll tell you on there. It won't be a surprise, okay? Otherwise, they'll delay your loan. You'll also be like, why am I 3 months out now when I was only 2 weeks away or a month away? Well, you go in there and you'll see that you didn't renew your loan. You didn't renew your credit score and you just got delayed. Now, normally, if you go in and click, approve or submit or whatever it again, it'll bring you back again. Usually you'll put you back within 5 days, usually it'll go back to the spot you were in. Same thing with a trade-in, okay? So if you're doing this with a trade-in, make sure that trade-in odometer is updated every, again, 30 to 60 days. You'll have to look at it. I don't remember. I can't see it right now. Okay, but either way, make sure if you do it every month, if you go in every month and just check it, you're never going to miss it. Just go type in the current odometer and make sure that stays current. That's another thing that could potentially delay your delivery. So there you have it. There's a very in-depth guide to the Model Y. There's still probably a ton of stuff we could have talked about, and of course there's the Model 3 and other types of vehicles, but we're talking more specifically about the 3 and Y here on this channel. The Model 3 just has another option, the standard range vehicle that you can go look at, but otherwise everything else is going to be the same kind of options. Now don't hesitate, if you have any questions down below, go ahead and ask. Also, feel free to join our Facebook group where you can post questions, and me and my wife and others that are members will be quick to answer your question. Thanks for watching the tutorial. Be sure to subscribe, your bell notification is rung, and we'll see you guys on the next one.